everyone, it's Janice from the Reading Train. This story is called Which Booger Lips? One day, Redmond was out for a walk with her dad. It was a nice spring day and they wore their rubber boots so they could stomp in the puddles that lined the sidewalks. Though Redmond was a good girl, she was also known to partake in a rather nasty habit. Sometimes Redmond picked her nose. Her mom warned her not to pick her nose. Her dad warned her not to pick her nose. Her grandparents and aunts and uncles warned her not to pick her nose. Even her baby brothers warned her not to pick her nose. But sometimes, just sometimes, Redmond picked her nose anyway. So her dad was not too surprised when he saw Redmond pull a giant green booger out of her nose with her finger. "Booger!" Redmond said. Redmond's dad shook his head and reached into his pocket for a tissue, only to realize he did not have one. Her father did what any good father would do. He plucked that big boogie off Redmond's finger and flicked it onto the wet grass beside them. The only thing worse than picking your nose is picking your nose and not disposing of the booger properly. However, being outside, Redmond and her father did not think much about it and headed home, as it was getting late. They turned right, then left, splashed their way sideways, carefully crossed the road together, and after one more turn to the right, they were home. The booger grew. It grew and grew and grew and grew until that big green booger grew into a big green witch with booger lips. Witch Booger Lips stood on the grass where Redmond's booger had been tossed, feeling a little cold and very wet and very sticky. Witch Booger Lips slid her way onto the sidewalk. She turned right, then left, splashed her way sideways, made her way across the road, leaving a trail of snot behind her, and after one more turn to the right, she was outside Redmond's home. Inside, Redmond's mom kissed her goodnight, Redmond's dad kissed her goodnight, Redmond's baby brothers kissed her goodnight. With no more kisses to be given and no more stories to be read, Redmond's parents turned off her bedroom light. Witch Booger Lips made her way inside the house. She slipped under the door, slipped down the hall, and slipped right into Redmond's room. Witch, witch, booger lips, witch, witch, booger lips, witch, witch, booger lips, witch, witch, booger lips. Redmond opened her eyes and sat up in bed. "Who are you? What do you want?" she asked. Witch Booger Lips replied, "Witch, witch, booger lips, witch, witch, booger lips. I have a sticky issue, so give me a..." But before she could finish, Redmond yelled, "Mom, Dad! Mom, Dad! Mom, Dad!" Redmond's parents came running into the room. Before they could switch on the light to see what was wrong, Witch Booger Lips turned them into toads. Feeling rather frightened, Redmond ran into her parents' room where her little brothers were sleeping. Witch Booger Lips followed close behind, chanting, "Witch, witch, Booger Lips." Standing with her little brother by her side, Redmond yelled, "What do you want?" Witch Booger Lips moved toward them, her green arms stretched out in front. Redmond's toady parents leapt across the room and up onto the nightstand, knocking over the lamp, 2 pictures, and a box of tissues. Witch Booger Lips continued her advance. Witch Booger Lips. Witch Booger Lips. Witch Booger Lips. Tissues? Redmond's younger brother picked up the box of tissues and held them out for Witch Booger Lips to see. Witch Booger Lips brought a tissue to her face, gave one tremendous blow, and changed back into a giant green booger. Only this time, the booger lay in a tissue and not on the ground. Thank you. And it must be said, from that day on, whether inside or outside, Redmond never picked her nose again. Not even sometimes. She simply asked for a tissue.